Hello and welcome to OT the Podcast. We're here talking about watches, time and how we spend it. I'm Felix Schultz and...
I'm Andy Green.
And...
I'm Diana Chan.
Boom.
Who's Diana Chan? We've got a very special guest today, Felix.
No, it's a third presenter. We're replacing you already.
Okay, all right. Well, as you might have guessed, we have a very special guest, Diana Chan. Great to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Who's Diana Chan? The question still stands, Andy.
Well, before we get into it, what do we got in store today, Felix?
Diana Chan.
Diana Chan.
And
we're going to watch Matchmaker, which she may or may...
Is that Diana Chan?
Might be. Well,
Okay.
once upon a time it was. So, Diana, we've known each other for quite a few years now. We used to work together. You deviated from your traditional career like we both did, actually.
Where did you work together? I want to know this.
We were at Deloitte together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Back in the sooty days. Did you
Suit
suit?
and tie.
Yeah,
okay.
all very corporate.
Yep,
Yeah.
nice.
Very different to what we're wearing today, but that's...
Oh, those were the days. And then you went on to do something pretty cool. You entered Masterchef back in 2017.
Yeah, I sure did.
What
Sure
season
did.
was that?
So season 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, nice.
It was a great year. Diana won. So,
You won?
spoiler alert.
Boom. All right, well, we'll have to talk about that because
took home
I'm
that big bag.
suddenly back on the Masterchef bandwagon.
Yeah, I think everyone is. I think
Yeah,
it's
that
a
little-
it's a great time. They've timed it perfectly.
Breath of fresh air.
So, Diana went on to win. You then had a restaurant.
Oh,
Yep, called Chantine,
nice.
Very
which I
cool.
had for seven months.
Great branding. And then you went on to do some dumplings.
Yeah, I went on. I still have a range of dumplings that I stock in Coles and Woolies.
Nice.
Always plug.
Yep.
And we're sort of expanding that range, like within the frozen fruit section. And I've got my own TV show now on SBS Food
What's it
called
called?
Asia Unplated.
Nice.
So a lot of Asian cooking, obviously, on the program, covering all sorts of like different cuisines around Asia.
Yeah, nice. Well, we'll have to talk about some of the many food. We've got some food stuff lined
There's
up.
a bit of food stuff lined up. So,
We've done well, but yeah, I definitely want to get to your sort of thoughts around what the exciting world of TV food is like.
Absolutely.
let's dive into it. So, as I mentioned, we work together. And looking back, I think I take for granted all of the food you used to bring in and feed me at lunchtime. I really did.
And how old were you at the time?
Like 18, 19.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me in any way at all.
Oh yeah, that's quite a good.
And you were bodybuilding.
Yeah, I was.
Like that.
I just ate all the chicken, the satay chicken.
all the protein.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like feed me
Yep.
protein.
And,
Yep.
and you had all the carbs.
Yeah, always love carbs.
Me too.
Still
me
do.
too. But I did remember when we first met, you had a nice watch on,
Yeah.
which was unusual. Which was a
Tag.
It was a tag.
Yeah, it was a
Ooh.
tag.
Can I guess what sort of tag it was? Do
Go
you,
for
do you know what it was?
You still have it.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
Someone will know what it is. Aquaracer, two-tone, just plain steel?
Just plain steel.
What sort of dial? What colour?
Oh,
It's
it
white
was
or
like
silver?
silver.
Yeah, it was
silver.
silver.
Yeah, it was.
That's such a good one.
Good
It was
size
classic.
as well.
I think it was like for my 21st. I got it.
Yeah, classic. That's Aquaracers and the Cal 5, the automatic. Yeah, they're just great watches. Anyway, well done for your... whoever
And a
got
good
you that
size. It was
21st.
like it would have been like max 30 millimeters.
Yeah.
Very small,
28.
very elegant.
Any diamonds or just plain?
No, couldn't afford them then.
Okay, yeah.
You're like looking into the future. Two-tone, diamonds. Not yet, Felix.
Oh,
But things have changed, haven't they, Diana?
They certainly have.
So, like many of my friends do, I got a call. Maybe was it a year ago, 2 years ago?
I think I got this one for my 30th. Yeah, so about two
2 months ago.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
wanted some help picking out a watch, and we ended up going for the Rolex Oyster Perpetual.
Yep.
The Datejust.
oof,
Datejust.
that looks so
Yep.
shiny.
Two-tone.
Nice.
Yeah,
Silver
two-tone.
dial.
No, that's a pearl diamond. A pearl dial.
Mother of pearl.
Yeah,
Whoa.
with diamonds.
I mean, it's
And
a,
rose gold.
Yeah,
it's
rose
a
gold.
crisp winter's day here in Melbourne, and it just catches the light. Also, that's a lovely ring, by the way.
It got very
Oh,
cold in
thank
here.
There
you.
you go. Did you have the ring before the watch or the watch before the ring?
Oh, I think I had the ring, the watch before the ring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you factor
That in.
that in?
Well, actually, I was wearing. I've got a bit of like rose gold, like bracelets.
yeah.
So that's why I kind of thought.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of
You
goes.
Had to.
For the listeners,
um,
Diana is absolutely dripping
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
jewelry and gems, and
Stop.
there's a lot of dumplings being sold.
It's just
Obviously,
like massive chains.
yeah.
There's a big dumpling, like piece.
She puts the Chan in chains. Yeah.
Diamond encrusted dumpling.
Yeah, no, that's. I think that's maybe painting a false picture of Diana's personal style. It's all very classy, little tennis bracelet vibes, and
Yeah, very classy
nice
woman.
Yep.
And always has been. And I
Okay.
think that this is a brilliant choice for you.
So tell us more about where we ended, why that watch, and how we got there.
Diana, why that watch? What happened?
Well, I wanted one, and I'm like many girls, I'm such an impulse buyer. So when I want something, I have to have it like right now. And it was one of those things that I was talking to Andy, and I think for months we were going back and forth. We were like, what watch should I get? And Andy's always kept on, saying like, definitely get a Rolex. Which one? Didn't know. I think I went in, and then with you, was it one day or something? And then there none in stock.
Yep.
Can I interrupt? How did you find that? So going into a shop and going, I want to buy this watch. I know what I want. I want to buy it. I can't buy it. How does, because for me, and it's with Rolex and other sort of brands, that's accepted.
Yeah.
How did you find that?
Well, a little bit annoying, I guess. Like, because you're ready, you want something, you can't get it, and you got to wait for I don't know how many months or something. I did want it a bit more, but then I sort of like just like every other girl, our focus shifts, and like I start looking at other things, maybe like jewelry or something. And then I think I was Christmas shopping. It was the funniest. I was in Chatston, and I had all these like bags of stuff that I was, buying gifts and everything. And I thought I was actually in my gym gear, my, active wear. So I walked in, and I was like, I actually saw the watch at the window.
Yep.
I think it was the one without like diamonds on it. Yep. And I went in, and I said, I'm looking for a Datejust. I didn't really know whether I wanted to go the bigger size or the smaller one. So I had to try them on, and then she pulled this out, and she was like, this is the only one we have in Victoria, or there was one more in New South Wales or something like that. So if you want it, you can have it. And I was like, then that's when I called Andy.
Hey Siri, call Andy.
That is say what you will, that's an effective sales tactic.
Yeah, I know.
We have it. It's the only one. You can buy it, or I'll sell it to the guy right behind you.
And it was like at 2:00 on a Wednesday or something.
Yeah.
And I just get this call from Dan. I'm like, what's up? She's like, Andy, I want to buy this watch. Should I get it? What do you think? Is it a good one? And I was like, yeah, it is. Cop.
Yeah.
Cop.
Nice.
And they had, I think they had the other ones, which was like the gold, the two-tone, but with gold. And I thought rose gold was a bit more subtle.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I just really wanted something that I could wear, obviously in the kitchen, something a bit more sort of durable. And
you wear this watch all the time.
The time,
and a lot of our listeners follow you on Instagram, and I get messages. But you wear this training at the gym. You wear this traveling. You wear it in the kitchen.
Quick
I'm
question.
impressed because I do the same.
If our listeners don't follow Diana on Instagram, how do they do that?
Well, it's diana.chan.au. That's
nice.
my Insta handle. Thank you.
So you wear it all the time? Like,
I do. Well, cooking, any sort of. I think it's already paid itself off, really, because I've pretty much like don't take it off unless I'm sleeping.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the only time I take it off, or when I hop into the shower. But apart from that.
Have you whacked it on anything, or?
Yeah, loads of times. I'm generally quite cautious and careful, but you know when you're like just going about your daily life, like
Catch it on the corner of a wok.
yeah, I've hit it so many times, like opening doors. Just
The first one's the hardest, and then you get used to it.
Yeah. How did you feel the first time you sort of? Do you remember the occasion?
Yeah, it's like when you drop your phone, you just look at it and like, have I broken it?
Was
like,
it the day you got it? Because that always happens with phones.
No, I think I was pretty good for like the first few weeks, and then after that I was like, okay. And then I realized that it actually doesn't it doesn't scratch easily at all.
That's character anyway.
And exactly. And I can always get it, polished when I want to, and it'll go back to new, and I'm perfect.
Yeah, there's nothing they can't fix on it. So I have a question. So, we talked about how you started off with that 21st tag Heuer, which is pretty common for a lot of Australians especially, and then you kind of always wanted that, statement, nice Rolex. Now, not being a watch collector like a lot of us are or super into it, now that you've attained that Rolex, is there anything else that you kind of have your eye on? Do you feel the need to buy another expensive watch, or is this it? Do you feel happy with this? Is that a thing? Does that exist? Are you just content now?
You're never. That's like a silly question. You're never content. You always want more. Once you start, like you always want more. I'm content for now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. I think I've got different priorities that I need to. I really wanted this watch because I think it was like a milestone for me after Masterchef. Then like it was a present, like a 30th to myself, and you know, it was just sort of something that I wanted to look back and go, okay, like I'm happy I've achieved what I've achieved, and this is like a gift to myself. The next one, who knows? Could be I don't know, like it's just $1 million question. Like if I land a big gig, maybe I'll get one, you know, in a few months or a few years. Like
any brands jump out to you?
Well, I do want a Patek.
Oh.
Hey. Yeah. So remember how you felt when you went into the Rolex shop?
Yes.
And they had nothing that you could buy at the time.
Yeah.
Get used to that.
Okay, I know. So I think that might take a few years,
Have you got
or
a blue
maybe
tick?
never.
Have you got a blue tick on Instagram?
Sorry.
Have you got a blue tick yet on Insta?
Yeah.
Oh, that might help.
that'll help.
That
Yeah,
helps.
What do you mean?
Verified helps you jump the queue.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, you're on TV.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, honestly, they love chef. The thing we'll talk about this, I'm sure, but
They love chef.
chefs always have their watches in frame.
Because you do, and it always appears in frame.
Yeah,
It does.
So,
it does.
great. So
But
if
I'm
any,
open to a lot of suggestions. Obviously, I don't have to go straight to the top, and
No.
I can.
Well, we know a couple of guys who make a crust off quasi-professional watch advice. So
Yeah, well, you know who to ask. So I just want to circle back to Patek. What have you worked out what you want?
Well, what's it called? I can't quite remember. It's the sort of like that shape. It's like a rectangular.
Nautilus.
No, or the gondola,
Gondola. That's
like a
also
ladies'
right.
one, or
Yes, ladies one.
yeah, nice.
But it's really simple,
Yeah, is it a dressy number or a bit sporty?
dressy,
Okay.
but really simple, similar to that.
Okay. Oh, very nice. Okay, that's achievable.
What are we looking at there, Andy? I can't see your screen.
The
please.
Gondolo Small Seconds Rose Gold.
But it doesn't have so many things at the.
No, not so many
in the
diamonds.
face, Yeah.
No. Okay.
Not diamonds, but it's a lot more simple. Oh, should we do
That's all right. We'll work it out.
that? Okay.
We've segued from podcasting into watch shopping now, and that's we'll be back. Come back, in about 15 minutes. We've got to have come back with a new watch.
That's it. We're going to take a break and just head down to Chadstone and put the credit card to work. All right, back on the microphones, guys.
All right.
You want to talk about chefs, TV, watches?
Yeah. So.
There's also another watch I like.
Oh yeah, no, this is much more.
Which is it?
Well, I don't like. I
What
know
brand?
the style that I
Yeah.
like. It's like a bracelet. So Chanel does it,
Yep.
and it's like this really small face, but it's like just a gold bracelet. But
Oh, is it the boyfriend?
Well, probably.
And it's like a
black and gold.
yeah. I know the one.
I'm bringing it up. Keep talking, Felix.
I don't have Diana's attention. I have a specific question to ask her about.
Cartier. Oh.
No, okay. That's it. Yeah, okay. So let's talk about the thing that I'm watching MasterChef at the moment for the first time in years because there's, all my old favourites. But I'm sorry, I didn't watch your season. I sort of tapped out around season 5.
Who's your favourite?
Probably Poe.
Poe, yeah, cool.
Because I sort of came in the first time round, watched the first few seasons, and then, tapped out. I am liking the new Judge lineup. I'm enjoying that breath of fresh air.
Absolutely.
Change of the guards.
Yeah, it's nice. And it's it makes me feel like it's
Okay.
relevant.
It's a good change. I think maybe it's
Felix talks a lot about various cooking shows, YouTube cooking.
I'm
Instagram
all
cooking,
about. I've been living off Bon Appetit's YouTube channel.
and drag queens.
Bon Appetit and drag queens is my life at the moment.
Okay, so do you have a question for Diana?
Bon Appetit and drag queen.
It's a great combo. The other one, it's not on at the moment. I think it comes out in August. Is the Great British Bake Off?
Yes.
All-time classic.
Didn't realise you like that one. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
How could you not know that?
you've just met me. So my question is, and it's how does time work on a cooking show? Like, because I think most people have worked out, but by the time they're tasting that food, it's been in the fridge for a while.
It's got to be cold.
It's all cold. Everything is I mean, so what happens is in any cook, the food actually gets tasted whilst it's being cooked.
Mm-hmm.
So the judges walk around, but this is all off camera, so you don't actually see it. So they already know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last bit is obviously certain dishes holds itself really well, some don't. And at the end when they taste it, it's cold. But
they will already have an opinion of how
what it should taste. But sometimes it could taste better when it's cooled down, you know?
Yeah.
Like desserts, for example, like it's probably better after a couple of hours. Yeah.
Okay. Is that something that because MasterChef was a very dessert heavy sort of show? Was that something that was factored in the choice of, like, you know, I'm sure they've worked out, hang on, we're cooking this. I'm not going to cook something that goes pretty crap in a fridge after an hour. I'm going to stick with desserts or something that, like a terrine.
Yeah.
Well, Dinah season was the ice cream season. I swear, every other week there was just ice cream.
Yeah, every year there's like a theme.
Now it's the barbecues, right?
Yeah.
Korean barbecues.
Hibachi. Yeah. So they I don't know what it is. Like everyone just tends to follow each other. But
Okay, so I guess food is fashion based, and that everything exists in that. So the cook that you see, that 45-minute cooking time or whatever it is, that's 45 minutes, right?
Well, it's generally it could be 45, could be an hour, could be an hour and a half. Yeah,
whatever the time is, that's not faked.
No. It's the actual.
Yep.
Yeah, you might get like a couple of minutes to set up at the start.
Yep.
Or they'd be like, you get into your positions. Okay, camera rolling, go, and then
And then, so that next bit, how much of it is sort of hanging around and
preheating the oven?
Oh, you mean like when after it's been tasted?
Yeah, or like so what? How much time would, if I'm watching an hour of TV on a Sunday night?
Yeah.
How long did it take of you standing around A, cooking, or B, just hanging out?
No time at all. It's like if it's an hour, it's actually an hour filming.
Yep.
But then I guess there's a lot of edits that go behind the scenes.
You're doing like full days though, right?
Yeah, full day. So like from the time that your food is cooked and then the judges taste it, for example, that's like a 3-hour gap.
Yeah.
Because they're cleaning down the kitchen. And then from that time where after they've tasted it to the time where they do the judging, that could be another 2 hours. So it's a whole day of filming.
Who did the dishes? Who did the dishes?
Well, there's a whole entire team. It's like a SWAT team, kitchen SWAT team. They come in and like literally within 10 minutes, the kitchen is clean.
I have a theory because I was watching it midweek and those pans look like they're brand new and they can't have been washed and reused.
Oh, it's heavily sponsored, the show. So
explains it.
I think so whoever is it, ScanPen or whatever, they can. I'm sure they can bring in new pens.
If one has a slight scratch, they'll just swap it out.
They're just perfect.
Yeah.
What piece of equipment do you miss from that kitchen?
The Thermomix.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have one?
I don't have one.
Did you
because
I'm quite anything? Like, was there anything that sort of maybe went home with you?
Maybe. I think everyone does.
So let me rephrase that. Are there any sentimental mementos of your time at MasterChef?
Oh, absolutely. I think I have an ice cream scoop.
Do you stop the apron?
Yes, we do.
Do you wear it around the house ever?
No.
That's a yes.
We did contemplate about selling it on eBay. I was just wondering how much we could get.
To buy the Thermomix.
That's what all the drag queens on Drag Race do, by the way.
RuPaul?
Yeah. Because the drag queens are famously poorly paid. So they just
sell their,
All right. One thing that the watch community does often like to look out for is chefs wearing watches, as we mentioned.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any cool watches on the wrists of some of your chef friends?
Well, I think is it George
has
that owns
a few.
a Hulk and another one. Is it the Pepsi as well?
Oh, does he?
Or not?
Here's a fun fact.
He's got a lot of watches.
Matt Preston has a Vostok.
Does he?
Yeah. Well, he had one back in 2010.
Probably to sell it now.
Yeah.
It happens. Any other food related questions before we kick on?
I think that oh no, you've got some food related questions.
Well, we have some food related questions. So there's a group of guys out there in Melbourne and watch guys who have really kind of got into the spirit of home cooking. So what I did during the week was ask them to kind of send in a couple. We've got 4 different.
I think we need to explain so they've got into the spirit of home cooking, but they've also got into the spirit of home cooking of doing it on Instagram.
Yeah, so they're sharing it to Instagram and using the hashtag quarantine cooking.
Quarantine kitchen?
Kitchen cooking.
Something
like that.
Cooking.
And it's been escalating. It started out off pretty simple, and now it's quite fancy. So first up we have Martin's bruschetta and greens, and I think they were called.
That looks very, very good.
Are we asking an expert chef to rate?
Yeah, so she's going to give it a rating let's give it out of 10.
Yeah.
So, and he's got some champagne as well. He's got the.
What sort of champagne's he got?
I can't read from here.
I'm looking. You don't recognise the label?
Louis Pedrier.
Oh, is that really champagne or is it sparkling?
It looks French. Oh, we jumped ahead. So he's done bruschetta and greens. Diana, in the mic, what do you think it is? Out of 10?
I'd give him. He's got some good styling there. I'd say I'll give him a 9 out of 10 for styling.
Wow. Okay. Keep count, Felix.
The bruschetta itself looks pretty good.
Pretty good. That bread looks a bit basic, though, I got to say.
That's store-bought?
The bread probably needs to be toasted slightly more. Mm-hmm. So it looks a little bit on the dry side. So yeah. I'll give him a 7.
7 for
the actual dish.
But
I'll give him a 9 out of 10 for the styling.
Okay, so out of a total light. Out of a total of 20 points, he's getting 16.
Yeah.
And are we naming who that was? Who was that again?
So that's Martin at Wine, Dined and Time.
Well, he's set a high bar because he's saying he's wined and dined. So he's clearly invested. So
Okay, all right. So that's 16 out of a possible 20 points.
Okay, good start. Strong start.
Oh, what's this one?
Next up, we've got Graham, who's at Grey Whiskey, and he's done some
Pippies.
Pippies. What do you think of that?
Let me have a look.
All right, let me maximise this picture for you.
Oh, that looks delicious, actually.
Oh, delicious.
Oh, and he's got a good bottle of Chablis.
Oh, he's got a good bottle of Chablis.
Oh. That actually looks tasty.
Looks tasty?
Yeah, looks tasty.
So what are we scoring that out of?
I'd say give it 8.5 for the food.
Yep, 8.5 for the food. For the styling, it's a hard one.
Styling, it's a hard one. It doesn't. That's really
Is it a
unfortunate.
rustic dish?
Doesn't have a.
It's in the slides.
Yeah. We could say 8, maybe.
8. Okay, all right.
I mean, like his style as good as it can be, right?
Yeah, it's a pile of shellfish.
Yep.
With some chopped chilies
and some chilies and herbs and good bottle of Chablis and nice
flex
plum glasses. Maybe.
Flex. All right. So the next one we have. Let me jump into it. Number 3, which is Edward Chen. Yeah. That looks pretty good.
What is it? A Parma?
I think it's a cassoulet, isn't it?
Cassoulet.
Oh, cassoulet.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh. Right. Well, look, for styling, we can't give him too many points because it's still in
Is that how it's presented, or is that mid-cook, do we think?
Oh.
So I think that's sort of, it's finished in the oven, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's say it's mid-cook.
Yeah, okay. Well.
All right.
Oh, it looks good. It looks good. So let's give him a 7.5.
Okay.
I think it looks good.
I'd eat it.
Yeah. It looks, you know what? It looks like it looks home cooked.
Give me something to dip in that stuff.
Yeah. You need some bread or something, right?
Hearty bread.
For the dish itself, what are we scoring?
Start up. Let's go with a 6.5.
6.5. So 7.5 for styling, 6.5 for the dish. That's 14. All right. So Grey Whiskey is still ahead. Now I think the last one.
Follower there.
I think the last one you're really going to like. So this is from at Charith Sir. And he's got some Diana Chan.
10 out of 10.
Szechuan pork dumplings.
Don't even have to play it up. I'm joking.
Really? We're going to give the styling 10 out of 10?
Well, he's bought 3 boxes, so yeah.
At least 3 boxes. At least 3 in the freezer.
Yeah. Oh, 10 out of 10 for styling. And
I'm not sure why he's got the photo of it in the
trolley.
10 out of 10. All right. So Charith gets 10 out of 10 for both styling and for the dish.
Even though he's not even cooked it yet, but that's all. It's all good.
Are they good cold?
Are they good cold?
I don't know.
I've never tried
so he's getting
it.
a 20.
I wouldn't recommend it though, actually.
So what are the final scores there, Andy?
All right. So our first dish was 16. Second was 16.5. Third was 14, and our winner got perfect score, 20 out of 20 for Diana Chan.
That's really biased. Though.
Well done. No, I think that's entirely fair.
That's fair, yep.
And where are these available? Woolies and Coles?
Coles and Woolies, yeah.
Sure.
And selected.
Quick question.
Yes.
Do you know if there's a limit on... you wouldn't be able to buy more than 2 packets at the moment.
I think you can.
No,
you can
on
now.
online shopping, you can't buy more than 2 freezer items.
Oh, really?
Well, at the moment, is it going to be when this
I
comes
think
out?
the panic buying's all. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying.
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah. So buy them while you can before they get stockpiled.
I just don't
Exactly.
know that there'd even be 2 on the shelves with how good they are.
True.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, moving on to the next segment that we have, which is where we talk about something that we've liked, that we've seen. And I don't know if you've seen anything during the week that you've liked, but Felix and I have a mutual.
Yeah, well, I shared it, I think, on my Facebook, and you saw it, and we had a discussion. Maybe the fact that you were coming on the episode factored in there.
It's food themed again.
It's I think your competitor. I'm assuming this guy's got an SBS food show already. He's has a Facebook page called Nat's What I Reckon.
Have you seen him before? So he's a guy. He's
a comedian, actually.
Comedian, I think in LA, and he's doing home cooking. But
Is he based in LA?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Is this the guy? Yeah.
This is the
He's
guy.
like tats, long hair, heaps Australian.
Yeah. Like, just chucking whatever. Like,
Yeah.
isn't that? Yeah.
Where he's like, now put some butter in the pan. Be careful, don't use too much. Sure,
Yeah.
it tastes good, but so does living longer.
Yeah. Okay. So he's got a bit
My
of.
favourite line was, "You could use any rice like basmati, you basmati pans." That was my favourite line from a recent one. But he's excellent.
So he's on YouTube, isn't he?
YouTube, Facebook.
He's
everywhere.
on YouTube as well. He's got
Yeah,
some
yeah.
merch. He's I think Dave Grohl's a fan at the moment.
That's so cool.
But what I like about him is I saw him. So one of my sort of Aussie mates that lives in Canada was like, "This reminds me of Australia. This
Yes.
is the most Australian thing I've ever seen." It is essentially everyone I went to high school with.
It's amazing.
There's a lot of swearing. There's a lot of
It's pretty vulgar, yeah. So we'll link it up in the show notes. But he's very vulgar, but he also takes a very simple approach to explaining cooking and what might seem like an intimidating dish to do.
yeah.
He really simplifies it. And it's like, you can use, here's how to cook rice. The ratio is 1 cup of rice to 1.5 cups of water. It doesn't matter how big the cup is, you can use your hat as long as you use the same cup for the water and for the rice.
Also on the rice is like, as to when, you cook it till it's cooked. Have you had rice before? Yes. When it tastes like that, that's when it's cooked.
Like it's just...
I like that.
He's really great.
And I guess...
it's so good, but yeah.
Well, his whole thing is, and I guess going back, we should have said at the start, but he's kind of anti-packet food. So anti-pre-made sauces,
I don't know where he stands on your dumplings. Maybe we should.
Maybe we should get him some.
Yeah, maybe we have to set him out, see if he likes them.
Yeah.
But it's more just, those high salt like sauces and risottos and, things in a can, things in a jar. And he's just kind of like, no, you can do this. I believe in your legends. Like he just, he's
very good. I had a debate actually with my partner because he's getting like 40,000 comments on a post at the moment.
Really?
Oh, and he seems to be replying to a lot of them. And I'm like, oh, that's a bot. And Elise has, my partner, who's just gone through a bunch of them and said, no, he's saying like he's engaging with a lot of these people and maybe, it's...
Yeah. All right, well, we'll link him up. And speaking of food, Felix has bought some donuts along. They're looking pretty tasty. So how about we have a bite and then get back into some watch matchmaking?
Nice. Perfect segue, Andy.
I'm getting good at it. Well, those were some good donuts, Felix. Where were they from?
They're from All Day Donuts in Brunswick.
Oh, lovely.
Ralph Rashid's Donut Empire. What are you drinking there, Andy?
I'm drinking an Aloha, a guava passion fruit sour beer from Deep Creek Brewing Company.
That seems a little unprofessional. Be drinking while you work.
Well, it's very tasty. So sue me.
Okay. I don't have the money for a lawyer, nor the inclination. It is time. After we've had donuts, we have energy. We are now talking Watch Matchmaker.
Sugar Hit's been good. Felix, why don't you read out Brian's email?
Yeah, so Brian got in touch. I think he slid into the DMs and then followed up with quite the email.
Just the way we like it.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Very professional. So, I will read now. Hi, guys. After having seen Felix's Nomos via Instagram, I thought I'd la. He wants some watch advice. Bit of background. He owns a physiotherapy practice and high-performance rehab centre in Richmond. Low-key plug. Maybe do some Googling there. Can probably work out who he is. He's a physio by trade. Generally, his week is broken up into days of business wear and sports active wear while he's in clinic. And he was on the sidelines of some sort of professional sports events as a medical physio. He wears between 2 and... What?
He wears between 2 and 4 watches per day.
Whoa, Brian.
Whoa.
Hectic. Depending on mood and activity. His collection is rather large. We'll get to that. So he's looking for a daily wear, physio, active wear, plus business. He wants something that can do it all.
Yeah. All round.
Okay, so he's got some criteria. He's got a budget of 5 to 10K Australian dollars.
White dial.
He wants a white dial tool watch on bracelet or all rubber.
36 to 40 mil.
If the 40 mil wears small. And he wants it to have business/work crossover appeal.
Here's a little, regular listeners will probably realise this, Diana will probably less so. We also have a rule about not including Rolex, because it's too easy.
Yeah.
Having said that, I think Brian needs a Rolex, which I'll get to in a second. But this is what he's got at the moment. I'm just going to go through a few of them. Tudor Black Bay, Montblanc, Salmon Dial, Rolex, got some Dan Henry, he's got an Omega AT, Aquaterra, G-Shock, Apple Watch, Seiko's.
Bunch of stuff.
He's been looking at the Rolex OP39 with white dial, 38mm Nomos Club, and a SIN 556.
Cool.
So, do you want me to start?
Yeah, Felix, kick it off.
First, I think I should say that all those three that he's looking at are great options. I'd also throw in a white dialed 16570, so the Explorer 2, the older one.
Yep.
It's a classic watch. It's 40 mil.
40, yeah.
Wears fine, looks great, does everything he wants. So, but having said that, no Rolex rule still applies here. I've started with one of the older Omega Seamaster Professionals. It's a mid-size model, 36 mil. So it's a reference 2551.80.00, which will be instantly recognisable to everyone listening, I'm sure. It's a Bond watch, white dial, steel bezel insert. What's not to like about it?
What's the price, Felix?
Oh, yeah. So it's an older one. So this is mid-90s, Chrono 24, around 3K. So well in budget, under budget even.
Yeah, okay.
And it's got this one's got a lovely faded lume for that vintage look. What do you think?
I really like it. I actually like the bracelet.
Yeah, it does have that cool sort of older Seamaster bracelet.
Yeah, it's an absolutely perfectly fine watch. Like if you want a business sport crossover watch, you can't really go past an Omega Seamaster.
And you can wear that to physio in your active wear.
It's pretty tough.
300 metre water resistance.
It's made it this far. It'll keep going.
Yeah,
all right.
And 36 mil. Next up. I'm going weird this time.
Yeah, you're in a weird mood today.
I sort of discontinued options. This is a Grand Seiko, which is one of my favourite brands. This is a discontinued one. I think it's from around 2015, boutique only, SBGR 077. So, automatic, big sort of sporty case, not a typical Grand Seiko case. So, it's 41 mil. It's thick, so it's pushing on the size, but
I think that's going to be too big for him.
Well, it's our show, not Brian's. So,
that's true. He asked us.
He can say no.
He can say no.
This is what I'm going with. It's cool though, because it's one of the older ones. So it's Seiko Grand Seiko, but it's also got a lot of red dial text about it being magnetic resistance to, I think, is that 80,000?
It's not 80,000.
What is that? 8,000.
8,000?
8,000 milliamps. So I don't know. It's very anti-magnetic. I'm not a science guy. Who knows what's going on? It's got loose. I should have had that donut. It's a big boy, but I think it's cool. It's 4,400 on eBay. You're not going to see one around. It definitely hits that sporty, casual business vibe. What do you think, Andy?
I think it's going to be a bit too big and chunky for him, but it does meet a lot of those criteria. And he has got a 41mm Black Bay, he said.
Yeah, sure. So
it'll be the same size.
Yeah, it's a thick boy, but I think it's nice, and I like it. It's less common. It's certainly, you're not going to look at that watch and think, oh, he's certainly doing well. He's spent too much money on a watch. You're not going to have any of that vibe. Like it's not
It'll be low key as well.
Yeah, very low key, but certainly very cool. Finally, I've gone a bit of a weird one here.
I think you're sharpening up. I think you're now focused. Tell the people.
I'm definitely not focused right now, Andy. Panerai, Luminor 2.
Love it.
38mm. So this is like perhaps one of the smallest offerings in Panerai's collection. So you go, small watch, Panerai. No one's ever said that before, but they're wrong because this is a cracker of a watch. PAM 00903. White dialed Luminor Due. It's sort of made more, I think, with women in mind, but I've worn this in the 42mm version. Absolutely fine. Like, it's great. It's got a white dial with creamy lume plots and blue numbers. It's really handsome.
Is it for women or unisex?
It's a watch.
Yeah.
It doesn't require...
It doesn't matter.
I mean, if
gender.
traditionally
but was
Panerai is
it
quite
meant
bigger.
Yeah.
It's a genderless.
But it's bigger than your watch. Like it's
slightly.
slightly smaller than that. So
Okay.
it's not a small watch by any means.
All right, well, I'm happy that the real Felix Schultz has turned up and brought us a very strong option to round this out.
I thought that Omega was good.
Yeah, no, the Mega's strong.
Okay,
Mega's
you
strong.
just don't like the Grand
This
Seiko,
one
do you?
looks young.
This is young. This is
Younger.
a new model. Was it released last year?
A couple of years ago, maybe.
Yeah, maybe 2 years old.
Yeah, and it's 8,500 Australian. So
On a leather strap, but you'd be able to get a nice Panerai rubber strap to fit
certainly,
up.
and I believe these ones they've got a little quick change strap system as well, so you can maybe start a collection.
That is a very cool. That's a very cool choice.
And I think the water resistance is only 30 meters, which is a bit of a meh for something with that sort of case, luminol crown guard. But
What's the money?
8.5, like I said.
8.5. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, now over to you, Andy Green. What are you going to wow us with?
I've got a few. I've got a few choices. All right. So Brian wanted a white dial watch. Well, how about Brian? You get a no dial watch.
What?
What? I'm going to throw out the Zenith Defy in all white ceramic with an open work dial. Look, it is 41 millimeters. It'll wear slightly smaller thanks to the rubber strap, which is integrated.
Hang on, did you say it's 41 millimeters?
It's 41 millimeters.
Whoa. You gave me so much flack for my bloody 41 millimeter watch. Why are you doing it?
Yeah, but this doesn't have much in the way of lugs.
Is that all white? Is it all white?
It's all white. The dial's silver.
Yeah.
It's got a silicon escape wheel and lever. It's $11,400.
So you're over budget and oversized.
Wow.
A little bit over budget, but look, Brian, you've got like 50 watches. Maybe you sell one or two and make up the difference.
Quick question, Diana, what do you think of this watch? Just tell us what you think.
Yeah, okay.
Don't look at us.
Yep.
I'm not the biggest fan of
Why
this
not?
Have you ever seen a
one.
watch like this before?
No, never. I know it's unique. I think I like the other one, the Omega one.
Yeah, nice.
earlier.
Good call, Diana.
Oh, even the Seiko one.
Can you
was
even
nice.
tell what the time on this watch
No,
is?
that's the thing. I can't read it. It looks like some.
It's a star past the zenith.
Yeah, it looks like some Egyptian god with their arms out.
I like that. Maybe Brian's into Egyptian religion.
Well, he has so many watches. Like maybe
And
he wants
also
something
the other
different.
thing is it's white. Like
Yeah.
it's a white rub. Like it's gonna
Yeah,
get
he
dirty.
said white dial.
Yeah, he did say white dial. Look, I just thought this was a fun choice to kick things off. I think it's a statement without making a statement. Like, as we said, Diana would see that and have no idea what it is. People that do know what it is might go.
I think Diana would work out that it's a flashy watch, though. There's no way that you can go, this is like a...
It looks so complicated.
Okay. What's your next watch? You've clearly failed on that one.
All right, that's a swing and a miss. My next one, I think, is a bit more fun. It's the Bremont Submarine 300 on with a white dial on a rubber strap. So that's priced at about 5,500 Aussie, middle of his budget. It's a watch I really, really like. I reviewed it late last year for Watch Advice, so you can check that out there. We'll link it up. The dial's got a few different layers to it, a few different textures to it. You call it multifaceted, but it's really crispy in the summer. Size is I think perfect. I think it's 40 millimeters. But it does wear a little bit thicker because of the triptych case. So it's thick with that kind of cool colour.
It's quite small from the top down, if I remember.
It is
that,
quite
that
small from
bezel
the top.
keeps it tight.
Yeah, well, the bezels, the lugs are misleading because they look long from the top, but they kind of curve down and they're quite short on the underside. So it does wear, like it's a 40 millimeter, but it wears like what maybe a 38 would wear.
It's a great choice.
So I think that's a really strong choice for him. It's not breaking any budgets. It's fun. It's a brand he hasn't kind of got in the collection.
Yep, sure.
So I think that's a cool one.
Yep, it's got some red text like that nice Grand Seiko.
A little bit of red text. The blue bezel inset's really nice as well.
Is it
Got nice
ceramic?
polish. No, it's not ceramic, but it's got like a polished finish to it.
Okay, cool.
Or it might be.
It looks pretty ceramic-y from there.
Yeah, maybe it is. Next one is a Tudor Oyster Date automatic chronograph, reference 79180. Do you know what this is?
It's a big block.
It's a big block. So it's a 19. The one I've chosen is a 1994 model, which you can kind of find for around 10k, maybe 11k.
And certainly, I think if you're okay with like not box and papers, maybe not a bracelet, all
Watch
that
only.
stuff.
No, that's watch only.
Okay.
This is sort of the price, and that's only because this is a porcelain dial, so it looks white. You can get a silver dial, but the porcelain dial is quite rare. It's got all of the best bits around of sort of vintage Tudor and roller, or neo vintage, I guess you'd call the 1990s.
Yeah, sure.
Screw down pushers, stainless steel bezel similar to Daytona, plexi crystal. It wears like a 1990s.
So that's mid-90s and they weren't putting sapphire on Tudor yet?
Not on Tudor,
Yeah,
not on Tudor yet. Powered by like a Vaju and ETA caliber.
Yep.
I found one on bracelet, 20mm between the lugs. You can put whatever strap you want on it. The silver dial does pop up a little bit more than this porcelain one that I found that's sort of for sale.
Silver's fine too. Yep.
Yeah, but I think in terms of spend a little bit more, you're going to spend it on something that's sort of a future classic, or it's a collectible now. Like 100%. You can just grab it, and if you spend $1,000,
you're not going to lose money on it.
You're probably not going to lose money on it, and they're not making any more of them. But I think the size is really what's going to offer the most appeal to them as well. Being that smaller 1990s case, it's going to wear similar to a Daytona. Yep. So I think that's a really good choice.
Okay, what do you think of that, Diana?
I like that one. That's nice.
Yeah, I think this is a really nice, interesting. Obviously, it's got the black subdials as well, so it's got that sort of panda look to it.
Big face.
Yeah.
I just flicked forward in our presentation. You've picked another one.
I've got one more.
You've gone large for Brian.
I have gone.
Wow.
I just thought...
Invested.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent
You're really
many an
going
hour.
the extra mile to help Brian find the perfect watch.
We spent a lot of time working this out, and
there were messages sent.
This is the short list. Like, this isn't all of the watches we could think of. This has been refined. Okay, my last one is the Oak and Oscar, which is a micro brand out of the US.
Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. Chase, a good guy, runs that. It's called the Olmsted. It comes in 38mm. It's white. The price is $1,575 US dollars.
That's like $3K.
Not even. Not even. Two.
Two.
Yeah, something like that. Well, good conversion. Whoa. Someone's been shopping online.
Wow, Andy.
Just saying.
What do you mean by that?
So that's well under budget. I think he's a great micro brand, or not even micro, but he's very well established micro brand that I think is worth supporting. Obviously, it's 38mm. It's a field style watch with a sandwich dial, screw down crown steel. It's got this inner minute track. The second sand is sort of, what do they call it? Orange cardinal. Which just is quite striking and makes the pops on the white dial.
And it's got some like custom font action going on there, like the 8 and the 7 look really cool.
I believe that the date wheel as well. Like it's got a custom font that was done. I think someone's similar to the Region did it. I'll have to check. ETA movement, clear case back to see the movement. So nothing over the top, but I think the movement has some sort of finishing to it. Comes with a bunch of goodies for that money as well. Zip pouch, spare fabric strap, and a watch tool.
My question about this watch, which ordinarily I would say is a great watch. Brian's got a bunch of other watches. Is this too boring?
He's asked sort of the world from us. Like in terms of the criteria, this ticks the size, this ticks the budget, this ticks the white dial, this ticks the crossover because you can wear that. Like it's tough, 100 meter water resistant. I'm going to say at least. It's stainless steel. It's going to be tough. It's got a absolute, motor of a movement powering it, just an ETA. Like it's going to be easy to service. You can put it on rubber, NATO, it comes on the bracelet. You can wear it, work, play, gym, whatever.
And let's be honest, if you compare this to say the Tudor, if you're wearing it all day, every day, and you whack this and whack a big dent in it, you're going to feel that with the Tudor, less with this.
This is going to cost the price of a service on the Tudor.
Yeah, sure.
So more or less, especially if you replace a crystal like that. So I think you can.
There's merits.
There's merit to this, and it answers everything at a really affordable price point. Otherwise, maybe we have to increase the budget for Brian.
Yeah, I guess if I was Brian and I had all those lovely watches at home, would I pick this up every day? I don't know.
Well, he's picking 4 watches up every day to change, so maybe.
But do you reckon he wants to change that? Like I sort of read it as he wants to stop wearing 4 watches a day because he realizes he's got a low key problem. Yeah, and wants to.
Does he want to sell of them?
Yeah.
Or?
I don't. Well, no, I don't think so. I just think maybe he just wants a work thing.
A work watch.
Right.
We'll see.
We'll have to present these to Brian, and
we'll throw these up on Instagram as we always do, and let the fans, the people can decide. But Diana, what do you think out of all the watches we've shown you?
So traditionally, Diana will say, you'll go through my 3 and Andy's 4 and pick one out of each.
Okay.
Like, say, you like mine.
It's not a competition between the two of us.
It really is.
It really is.
We're keeping score.
Okay, so from Andy's, the Tudor.
Yep. Big block
and the Bremont, but I would say different strap.
Different strap. Yeah, this is shown on a...
either leather or just...
rubber?
I think the stripy kind of doesn't then... fit into his criteria.
So it's not a very stripy NATO. So we could put on a block colour, put it on a rubber strap. There's options.
That's easy. So you've gone the Bremont or the Tudor?
Both.
Ooh, 2. And what?
2, and then
from mine.
From yours, the Omega.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
Okay.
What do you reckon, Andy?
I think the Panerai from yours.
Really?
Yeah, we just don't have anything like it. I just think it's a cool choice.
Yeah, it is cool. I think I'd go the Omega for him though. But I think it's sort of.
He's got an Omega. He's got an Omega though, so he's got everything.
He's got everything.
He's literally got everything.
From you, I mean, yeah, you're right, Diana. I think it's between the Tudor and the Bremont. I would probably go.
The Seika's really cool too, though.
You don't have to.
No, I'm just saying it's a cool choice, but then you did say you can't get it, so.
Well, I mean, yeah, you'd have to go on eBay. You'll notice that Andy didn't say the Seika was cool.
Yeah.
Andy,
I think it's cool. It's different.
cool. It's
unusual.
Diana.
It's nice.
Welcome to the new podcast with Diana and Felix. Andy, I'm a little bit torn between Bremont and Tudor. Like, he has got other Rolex vibes, but he doesn't have a chrono. This is very, you get that Daytona feel. It's very fresh. It's very nice. Is on the top end of the budget.
You don't see many porcelain dials, and you don't see
I'd
many...
go that. Like, the Bremont's lovely, but I think the Tudor's more interesting.
Done. All right.
Deal.
Well, Felix, how do people send in an email like Brian did?
They send it in an email to an address, which is otthepodcast@gmail.com.
He remembers. All right. Diana, how do we follow you?
I'm on Instagram, so diana.chen.au.
And you're on the TVs as well?
I'm on SBS Food, and the show's Asia Unplated.
And buy some of Diana's dumpling to keep funding the Rolexes?
You literally...
Step it up, buy more dumplings.
Buy more dumplings so I can buy another one.
Patek. She's got her eyes on a Patek, so...
And Andy, how do we follow OT on Instagram and your good self?
So follow ot.podcast on Instagram for the show. At Andy Green Live is my Instagram, Felix.
I think we should thank someone.
Have you said your Instagram yet?
No, I'm just... wow.
Well, thank you, obviously, Diana, for coming on the show, and obviously Major Tom Media for putting up with this shenanigan of an episode.
I don't think... Well, we've had enough Instagram. You don't need to know how to follow me.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Nah, why would you want to?
Exactly.
I think that's it.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you so much for coming in, Diana. It's been a real treat.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for those boxes of dumplings that we're accepting as a contra deal.
All right, guys, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.